Hello, and welcome back to Last Stream, World Unknown. I have traveled back to Hobgar. You may recall that I spent a bit of time on the Goblin continent recently, and one of the things I had planned to do was try to obtain Eye of Newt and Toe of Frog. And I talked to all of the residents of these goblin towns because I thought someone was supposed to give it to me and never managed to find it. And I thought that was weird, but I thought maybe like it was a crazy witch doctor person who told me to go fetch these items. And so I thought possibly that that was just a reflection of it was a crazy person and they weren't really items in the game. But then I decided, I was like, that seems kind of weird. And so I went back and looked at the strategy guide for this game. Because for those of you who don't know, there's like an 800-page strategy guide for this game. And I'm trying to remember where the item shop is in this town, and I don't remember right now, so I'm trying to walk around while I talk. Yeah, basically, it turns out that Eye of Newt and Toe of Frog, they're real items, and it's just that you're not going to get them from talking to people. They're like in a bottle on a shelf or something. And so I think I need to go back and try to find these items because it sounds like they actually are important items for some side quest stuff that I would like to do. Yeah, so I'm rambling. Why don't I walk around and see if I can find any of this stuff? Here we go. I think I finally found the item shop anyway. Are you the... Yes, Hogbar item shop. And so I thought they said the item shopkeeper has the thing that I'm looking for. Okay, that's just the guy to sell monster remains. I don't need to do that right now. So maybe I have to talk to one of these bottles on the table. There we go. Oh, that's a large potion. All right. I don't think I realized that you could talk to bottles on tables like this before. But I still don't see the thing that I thought we were going to be getting. It's in Gremlar that the item shop apparently has something, and it's in Hogbar that we're supposed to go talk to a bookworm. And so let me go see if I can find a library somewhere in this city. Okay, so it'll probably be in here. I'm in Hobgar Castle at the north end. There's a royal library. And I remember talking to some people in books here. Okay, here we go. You peer into the test tube and find, to your surprise, the toe of a frog. I see. Take the toe of frog. Yes. Okay, so we have toe of frog, and then the other thing I need is Eye of Newt, and apparently I can get that from a item shopkeeper in Gremlar. And so let me head up there next. This is so crazy. I've been using the radar as I walk back to Gremlar, and it appears I found a new buried treasure. What do we have here? Ruby staff. All right. I wonder if the treasures... Like, I wonder if that location always has a ruby staff, or if it's maybe, like the 10th treasure that you find will be a ruby staff or something like that. I wonder how it's implemented in terms of the code, because it seems like they've been getting better over time, but maybe I'm imagining it. I'm not sure. In any case, oops, wrong button. I should use the radar periodically whenever I'm walking around, but here is the town of Gremlar, and so now this is the place where I want to go to an item shop in order to try to find an Eye of Newt. And this appears to be the item shop. And so I have not talked to all the bottles before. Okay, managed to get a magic potion. Okay, so I've learned something. I thought you could only talk to, like, boxes and papers. I didn't realize that you could talk to bottles. I know you could talk to the map in order to see the map. I've seen that before. You really need to try to interact with, like, everything in this game. Speaking of interacting, could not find the button to cancel out of there. There's a large potion. Okay, great. How about in the tea kettle? Wow! You open the lid of the canister and find a most foul smell inside. Peering inside, you see the shriveled eye of a newt. Take the Eye of Newt. Yes. Wow. And, now that I think about it, I don't know that I've ever seen a canister that looked quite like that before. And the test tubes that were in the, well, I guess the test tubes actually looked pretty similar to these test tubes, I think, in the Hogbar Castle Library where we just were at. But basically, what I've learned is I need to try interacting with more things. when I'm inside of buildings and people's houses and different things, because there may yet be more surprises in store than I originally realized. Okay, with those 2 items, there were some other like monster remains that we were going to need as well, and unfortunately I don't remember what those were. But just as a reminder, the place that we originally got this was... Was it at this house in the Ugbar Swamp? I think so, basically where my cursor is. I think there was a witch doctor who lived there who told me to collect all these ingredients. So I'm going to head back to that witch doctor and see if we have all the ingredients we need. While traveling to the swamp, the radar, once again, has found the location of another buried treasure. Hey, I'm a radar tinkerer, and I got, I think it was perfect elixirs. I remembered just in the nick of time to actually look up and ignored the achievement so that I could actually see what I got. I gave feedback to the developers that every time that achievement pops up, when I find something, I always miss what it was that I just picked up in my inventory. And yeah, I've been running into some monsters, but they're the usual monsters, and at this point, nothing is really that much of a challenge to me in terms of just basic overworld monsters, so that's not a problem at all. And so momentarily, I can finish this battle, and we can go talk to the witch doctor once again, and see if we have all the ingredients for... I don't even remember what it was for. I just wrote down that we were supposed to collect all these different ingredients for the witch doctor. I believe this is the right place. Yeah, this seems like the place. It's very weird. With unusual music. And a tiny little house. With a crazy person. You not quite worthless. Give me ingredient. Alright. Me think maybe you deserve measly reward. Me teach you secret goblin evasion teak. Me call it Mirage. Mirage. Achievement unlocked. Okay. So, when I was trying to look up Eye of Newt, I believe I discovered that it was related to the monk's side quest. And so did he just learn Mirage? Is that what happened? Yes. Assist. Mirage. What is this? 5,000 agility to user for battle. I see. So I guess that's a skill that makes someone eminently dodgeable, would be my guess. And it is now in his skill slots, because he had empty skill slots available. And similarly, you'll recall when we were at the Wystonia Magic Labs, I think they were called, our White Mage learned a new spell. And so apparently that's part of the kind of White Mage specific quest line. And speaking of the White Mage specific quest line, you may recall at some point, I think it was the Wispy Spirit Cavern that was on a little island near Wystonia. There was like a white cloud guarding the entrance, and it said you don't have enough white magic power or something. And someone suggested that maybe I need to change which character is kind of like standing at the front of my party, because I have the thief leading the party right now, and maybe if I had the white mage leading the party, I would have a different outcome there, which sounds like an interesting thing to try. And B, since my white mage got a new spell at the Wystonia Magic Labs, maybe that has made me more powerful, and so now the Wispy Spirits would let my white mage into that area. And so I want to go and revisit that location, and so I think that's going to be the place that I head next. And just in case any of you ask, like, how I am able to remember any of this, I'm not remembering it. I have it written down on Post-it notes, and when we actually visited the Goblin Witch Doctor that I just talked to again, originally, was way back in episode 23, which was a while ago now. I went back and rewatched that episode, or at least the portion of that episode where I went and visited the Witch Doctor to hear the details about where I needed to look for things once again. After I discovered that, no, they really are things that I should be looking for, and the problem was just that I needed to look on tables inside bottles rather than talking to people. Alright, I will meet you over at... Is it called the Wispy Spirit Cavern on the map? Let's take a quick look on the map. Maps... Manual mode... It should be right over here. Yes, Wispy Spirit Cavern. I'll meet you guys over there, and we'll see if our white mage can get in. I just realized the radar pings another item that's on the coast there. It was actually close to where we just were. I don't feel like going back for it now. I do hope at some point in the future we will get an airship And I'll be able to use that to travel around more quickly. You can see the advantage of having the Black Mage have the most preemption. When I'm out on the ocean, he can just use Thunder and like kill everybody before anything else happens, and so it makes the battles very short. On the island with the Wispy Spirit Cavern, the radar once again pings, and we find Harbinger Ring. I think I've had one of those. I can't remember for sure right now. What does it do? I do have many of them, and they just increase magic defense. Okay. Alright, so let's walk back inside here and see if I'm remembering correctly. As you stare at the spirit, a voice whispers in your head. Your white magical powers are weak. You must leave. Okay. So, if I've never done this before. If I reorder the party... Let's see, how do I actually do this? That puts people on standby. And then I can, like, put them back in like this. Done. Okay, now my white mage is there. I wonder if I should have changed rows. Do they still have the same rows? Still have the same rows that they did before. So they're just kind of reordered. But now my white mage is standing in front. And so now if I talk... Still says your white magical powers are weak. So all I can imagine is we need to somehow upgrade our white mage first before we'll be able to get in here. So I'll continue to try to figure out what's going on here at some point. Since we're near Wystonia, and I mentioned the Wystonian Magic Labs, it is the case that the Black Mage had the opportunity to potentially learn Darkness 8 in the future, but we didn't have some of the prerequisites, although I don't remember what the prerequisites were. So I'm going to go back to the Wystonia Magic Labs, which might have been here. That's the library. I think it was somewhere in the right half of the world anyway. Here we go, Magic Laboratories. And just talk to all the people in here and see if we can learn Darkness 8 or learn what I still need in order to get it. I kind of vaguely remember this place. It wasn't that long ago that we were here. Cloud of water vapor. Right, I should talk to all the bottles and different things. Need to remember that. Okay, nothing particularly interesting here. Sparkling suit of armor. Music that conjured itself. I guess all the people to talk to were upstairs. So let's go upstairs. And see... Here we go. I hope you're enjoying the power of the inflation spell that I taught you. Okay, so this is the one we learned from the White Mage researcher. Monster remains can only take you so far. The essences cannot contain powers strong enough to teach you high-level spells. Often expert mages imbue certain artifacts with the power to bequeath spell mastery to others. I've recently learned of such an artifact, but I'm not in any condition to travel to such a dangerous location. The few scattered references to this relic claim that it was lost on a deserted island south of Orphos. That sounds kind of like the Wispy Spirit Cavern that we were just at. It's south of Orphos, it's a deserted island. If you find the relic, please return it to me. But I still can't get in, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Let's talk to this guy. Here's the Black Mage researcher. Okay, apparently I got whatever I needed. Let me perform the incantations and teach you Darkness 8. Okay, and we got an achievement for that. I've received news of an ancient artifact that I've been pursuing for quite some time. This relic was imbued with a powerful spell I could teach you once I've mastered it myself. Artifact is located in an ancient mine far to the northeast of Theopolis in the northern tundra. A mine northeast of Theopolis. I don't remember that offhand. If you choose, please retrieve the artifact and bring it here. Okay, so perhaps that will be one of our next destinations? I'm trying to decide what to do. I expect I could talk to the Wystonian leaders and advance the main plotline, because the last thing they told me to do was to go talk to the leaders of 3 cities, and I went to the leaders of each of those 3 cities, and I had to like perform some task at each of those places, and so I have a feeling now that those tasks are done, the Wystonian leaders would do more things for me. But before I do that, I want to try to finish off a few other side quests and loose ends. And so that's why I'm choosing this route today. Okay, so first of all, the deserted island south of Orphos. Wispy Spirit Cavern. There's also this one. It's not quite as deserty, and so I don't know if it counts as a deserted island, and there's not a port there, so I can't get there anyway. I guess there's also this tiny island. But I do think it's the Wispy Spirit Cavern that the White Mage was talking about, but apparently we need something else before we can get in there. And then meanwhile, northeast of Theopolis, a mine. There was the Elemental Cave that I really don't remember anything about. I might try to go find the video where I was at the Elemental Cave to see. I'm worried that there was a Wispy Spirit there, too, who wasn't going to let me in yet. Actually, there aren't a whole lot of other things out in the world I have to do other than fight more boss monsters to try to get more rewards. So maybe while we're here at Wystonia, rather than travel around more and possibly have it be a dead end, maybe I'll go talk to the leaders here and see if they want to give me some new quest or advance the storyline or something. So let me go up to the floating tower and talk to those guys, and I'll meet you guys up there. Wystonia Royal Guard, we've received word from each of the capitals that you've finished your investigation. The World Council will now receive you. Step aside for a moment. Someone appears to have just teleported down from the floating fortress. Dun dun dun! Just at the moment we arrived. What a coincidence. Wystonia Archmage. My word, you four have the strangest auras. What sort of backwoods voodoo horrors must one endure to generate such a strong beta aberration? I took a shower earlier this morning. What? Don't be so thick-skinned. My interest stems from empiricism, not derision. For instance, there's a bed in the arena dormitories. Oh! Remember sleeping in this bed? And they said we'd have to come back later, possibly to have dreams or something? That also resonates on the beta wavelength. I can only imagine how this might affect your dreams if you were to sleep there. My apologies for the Archmage's words. She's always a unique blend of abstruse and disparaging. Anyway, the council awaits. Please follow me. Okay, I'm going to make a note that we need to go sleep in the bed in the arena. The World Council has been consumed with solving the mystery of Rockwood's destruction. They've anxiously awaited your return. They'll want to see you immediately. Please follow me to the fortress. It's rare the World Council meets for so long, but these are extraordinary times. Usually their meetings last less than half this amount of time. Many wish they could have a place in the World Council, but the burden of leadership weighs heavily in these troubling times. I, for one, am thankful that I don't have to make decisions they do. The World Council is convinced the trouble's brewing, and that Rockwood's destruction is only the beginning. I pray the information you've learned will help them unravel this enigma. Follow me inside. Alright, I don't have any control. Collect your thoughts and meet the World Council in the 4th floor chamber when you're ready. Okay, so I get to wander around again now. Wandering around Wystonia, I don't remember this last time, but apparently there's still stairs down to a control room that's off limits. So I don't know if I just failed to come over this way and talk to everyone over here, but I didn't remember that. Yeah, look at this. There's... Oh, wait. Eastern Treasure Room. Do you want to pick the lock? No. Okay, I do remember that there were treasures, and I chose not to pick the lock. Alright, I think I'll just head upstairs directly to talk to the leaders. And we'll see what happens. Assuming I can find my way up. Here we go. You've returned with illuminating information, I hope. Are you ready to see the World Council? Yes. Alright. They've been awaiting my report. Let's see what I have to say. I found evil hidden underneath the earth and killed some horrible monsters. Tell us what you've learned. You spent an hour detailing the events that transpired in the Volundra Catacombs, the Spiral Cave, and the Sacred Tree. A compelling story. I'm most intrigued by the events in the Spiral Cave. You say a ghostly figure seemed to have been controlling the people who were jumping in the lava? That's what the ancient historian told us, anyway. Could this be evil Veneer spoke of? Perhaps it is, and we're only fooling ourselves when we thought the Veneer had dispatched it 500 years ago. But if it's been on Firma for over 500 years, why is it only now that it's wreaking havoc? That's a good question. Make no sense. Evil, not patient. Yes, it's truly a mystery, and its answer may lie at the heart of our current crisis. Uh-oh. My lords, we are under attack. What? How can this be? Our scouts report there are two forces. One is airborne, carried by giant flying birds. The other larger ground force has stormed the main gate and is approaching the city. We must deactivate the teleporter. The World Council must be protected. An assault such as this was never anticipated. The majority of our defense forces are on the ground. We're woefully understaffed here in the floating fortress. I'll head to the teleporter control room. Guardian, you stay here and protect the World Council. You're our last line of defense. No harm will come to them. Will you help us defend the World Council by protecting the residents of the fortress? Yes. Okay. Time's of the essence. Guard them with your life. I worry that this is going to be like Court, where I have to see intruders approaching from different avenues and kind of like fight them in real time on the map. So let me try to get my game face on. Because if that is the case, then it might be one of the few kind of real-timey kind of things that's in here. Alright, if all goes well, we'll have a pint of ale after this. You can, I'm not interested. Would you like to save your game? Yes, I would. Let's save the slot too. Must defend the fortress residents. Yeah, I think this is going to be like the defensive court. Alright, so there are two bad guys coming up the staircases. I need to get there as fast as possible and fight them as fast as possible. Alright, let's try standard battle technique. I'm not all the way healed up, but I'm in good enough shape in terms of magic points that we should be able to outlast anything we come across here. And good. These are guys that I can defeat in one round of combat. Thank you for saving me. End this insanity. Okay, so he just ran away. Here's another one. Dark Army Elf. Interesting. I wonder if, the fact that it's an elf kind of has things curious to me, like those people that were being controlled before. Do they have goblins and elves that are like mind controlled and that are doing their bidding or something? Just trying to imagine what might be going on in terms of the backstory. I guess we'll figure a bit of it out in the near future. But for now, let's protect all the court people. Save as many as you can. Okay, they went running. Do I go downstairs, I guess? Yes, okay, I see him on the staircase. I see him on the staircase. I see him. And I see him. Alright. They gave it to me in that order. There's 4 of them in here. I'm going to try attacking them in that order. And we are getting into bigger groups of monsters, so things could get slightly scary. I should try a different spell other than fire on these guys, just in case I can find an elemental weakness. It doesn't seem like these guys are too much of a threat, so that is good. And so that's 1 of 4 enemies that I've taken out in this room. Alright, so they're going to run away, and now I go up here and kill this guy. Okay, Dark Army Goblin Elite. Let's try Thunder just to see if it does any better. It does. I think that was hitting harder. So we'll prefer Thunder on the Goblins. And let's see. The fire, I think, worked reasonably well against the elves. And if we encounter some other monsters, I'll just try to have to keep track of all of those as I go. I think one advantage if you have a hunter in your party is the hunter knows the various, can scan the enemies that you fight and can learn their elemental weaknesses, and so you always know which spell to hit with. Ideally. And it also just occurred to me that I learned Darkness 8, and I don't think I ever equipped it in any of my skill slots. I also heard a sound that might have been like someone dying off in the corner. So maybe I haven't been fast enough. Oh, I thought that was going to kill that guy. Looks like he had just a little bit too many hit points. So in this case, I'm going to have you attack this guy and you attack this guy, and I'll have you do a fast heal. That should finish off this party, and we can see if we can still save one. Ah, thief! Why you gotta go and miss? Now is not the time to be missing. Not so worried about the damage, but the miss just means another round of combat, and I don't have a sense of if another round of combat means more time is passing out in the real world and guys are getting killed. Yeah, I think this soldier killed a townsperson who was over here, unfortunately. Alright, goblins, I think lightning. And can my thief actually manage to finish one of these guys off? Yeah, still no. Darn it. I know from watching Sendril do the event at court, he managed to save all of the townspeople, whereas I only saved 12 out of 16. And he was handsomely rewarded for managing to save all those folks. And so, darn it. I would like to save as many as I can because there may be a reward in it for me. And also I imagine possibly like there could be future dialogue with some of the people that we end up saving. That could be interesting and or important. Yeah, many reasons. Alright, let's try going down these stairs. Okay, by the pillar, coming in the front door. There's one by the dwarf there. And there's by that pillar over there too. Okay, I see where they are. The dwarf needs to be saved right after this. Even though he should be a relatively hardy fellow. Based on his own boasting anyway. And I suppose I could try like other spells too, or other strategies just to see if I can I don't know that I have anything that can finish this off in one round of battle though. Okay, you should be able to finish him, you should be able to finish him. And you can do a fast heal just to make sure we're all in good shape. Alright guys, go, 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 go. We need to kill these guys. Alright, down here. Okay, managed to run fast enough to get to these guys. These are the Dark Elves, and so I'm going to try fire on them, I think. Fire, it was only hitting them for like 2,000 to 5,000, so I should try another spell. And we'll do manual attacks here to try to spread out the damage appropriately. Actually, I'm going to do... let's try Thunder against these guys as well. That does hit harder. Okay, so Thunder works on these guys too. So I should be prepared to use Thunder. Alright, let's kill this guy. Okay, there goes the dwarf. So we'll prefer Thunder to start. And let's see, the Thief's Dancing Daggers has a warm-up, and so I can't use it in the first round to shorten battle that way. And the Monk has some like random attacks that could possibly hit everybody on the battlefield, but they've been unreliable thus far. Guess I could use like Knuckle Breaker to ensure I kill someone off, possibly. Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot I could do. Alright. I think we're going to save everybody on this floor. And these battles are pretty much the same, and so I'll fast forward through this. Alright, this area is clear. Better head to the teleporter control room. Okay, so the control room was downstairs again, I think? If I'm remembering correctly. Is it down here? No, better head to the teleporter control room. It was on the right somewhere. Here it is. Got it. Oh, there was a place to save there, too. Well, missed my chance now. We must get to the teleporter controls. Yes, sir. Soldier, you and I will distract the guards while the Guardian attempts to deactivate the teleporter. Yes, sir. Let's go. Arrgh! Hold on, just a bit longer. There's too many of them. And now we come bursting in. Alright, we need to save the day. Let's do it. Let's start with some thunder. Kablam! Okay, 1 down. 2 weakened. Death Strike. Ooh, instant death attack. Was not expecting that. It's time to go on manual. I think it's time to use Grand Larceny. Let's do a fast life. And let's do... I guess Fire Rate. Okay, so the monk is back up. Fire Rate does some more damage. Grand Larceny is great attack. That hits both of them, but this guy's still alive. And he managed to miss. Okay, great. And so now I can probably do this type of attack. Get some magic points back, and then just hit as hard as we can with the monk. I guess that wasn't as hard as we can. He just increased his defenses. And he just recovered 7,500 hit points. Okay, so then let's try... I might be able to use Giant Killer on him. Let's try it. Since it seems like he's just like a... not a mini-boss or whatever. Yeah, I guess like a mini-boss rather than a boss. And let's try Knuckle Breaker. And let's do a fast cure on the monk, please. And just for good measure, let's throw in an Annihilation. The Annihilation might actually finish him off. If we get lucky. 21,000. Yeah, still not enough. Another 12,000 by the monk. Giant Killer did not work against him. So much for that. And he just gained another 7,500, but I think he's gotten pretty low at this point. So I think we should be able to just attack and attack. And let's do a fast heal, and let's do Implosion. That'll probably do it. Okay, this'll probably do it. There we go. No, he's got like the boss death animation, so maybe he was a full boss. Got some level ups. Monster Stalker. Hang in there, sir. He's bleeding badly. Quick, give him this remedy. Zing. It's no use. The blade was covered in foul venom. Interesting. No. Warriors, please. You must defend the city. He's gone. Please fulfill the commander's dying wish and command Wystonia's defense. You can use the echo chamber to organize our ground troops. Oh my goodness. Is this going to be like more of a minigame? Echo chamber to organize our ground troops. Teleporter's been deactivated. Floating fortress is secure. Lower city is overrun with monsters. Alright. Please save your game in a separate slot. You won't be able to advance until you've completed the defense of Wystonia. Alright. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Watch the cutscene. Oh yeah. Wystonian fighter. Finally, by the fervent spirits, that took long enough. The commander has disabled the teleporter. Retreat to the city and regroup with our allies. Yes, sir. Alright, so the good guys are wearing like metal helmets and things. And meanwhile, several citizens and a few of our soldiers have been surrounded by the enemy.